to this previous slide. Here you can see from horizontal plane, if I want to find out moment of inertia from horizontal plane, I can consider this a cross section area which is I section as a whole, a full rectangle, then subtract this two rectangles, smaller rectangles. So total rectangle will going to be a moment of inertia for this total rectangle will going to be I BD cube by 12, where B is base which is 40 and D which is depth which is height here which is 5D. So B which is 40 into 5D cube by 12 minus these two cross section area. So let's go back to that slide. In that slide, we have talked about this thing. So in this case, you can see 4t into 5t cube minus 3t into 3t cube. So that is subtracted area from that total overall R rectangle. Clear? And that is 419 by 12 t raised to 4, which is our IXX. And from IYY, we have to consider it from horizontal side. So it is totally moment of two flange plus web. Clear? So for two flange, clear, flange area for two flange 2 into 1 upon 12t into 40 cube, because its base is 1t and its depth is 40, and in case of this web, it is depth is 1t and base is 3t. So ultimately it is 131 by 12t. And here you can see higher the value, it try to buckle on that side. Clear? So our connecting rope will try to buckle at xx direction. So in each and every design consideration, we have to find out what could be the more at where it will experience more moment of inertia. So higher the moment of inertia, it will tend to buckle at that direction only. So in this case, it is IXX. And normally, in each and every case, it will going to be only XXX. After that, we are going to determine this for our bending equation. So bending stress WB will be buckling load, clear, sigma C divided by A 1 plus A 1 upon L upon KXX. Why KXX? Because of we have found out that it is trying to buckle on XX direction rather than anything. Clear? Okay, so we have considered, we have clear about this design procedure of this cross section area. In what we have considered two direction. One is IXX and IYY, where IXX is higher compared to IYY. So we are going to design depending on XX direction. In this case, WB will be our will going to be our load, which is called buckling load. Sigma C is compressive stress. A, which is cross section area. Here we have found out that is 11 t square. Clear? 11 t square. K will going to be R depending on material. So K is nothing but I is equals to under root K A square. So ultimately K will going to depend on our I. Here after that, we are going to design small end and big end. After designing this connecting roads cross section area, we are going to determine small end and big end. For a small end, what is small end? Here I have shown you a small end. In small end, there is a bush. Bush is provided at the connecting rod or piston pin. So your piston pin is lying inside this small end. Here you can see this bush and the piston pin. So ultimately, this piston pin will try to create a bearing pressure on our connecting rod. Clear? This side. Then after it is big end. Big end is connected with our crankshaft, or it is also called crank end or crank pin end. Clear? So our design will relatively depending on this crank pin design. So let's design consideration of this crank pin. So before getting into this, we should understand force exerted by gas pressure will going to directly affect this designing of crank pin and are big end and at small end, piston pin and crank pin. So for that we have to determine this gas pressure. Gas pressure is nothing but pressure generated by gas blasted or gas generated in your piston cylinder cavity. So here you can see this FL, which is gas pressure force. FL is equal to pi d raised to 4, where d is diameter of your piston, P is pressure generated by piston. So FL is equals to pi d raised to 4 pi d square by 4 into P. So this is going to be act on your piston pin, and due to this force your piston pin will becomes under lateral force, which is also called a bearing stress in this lateral area. So there will be rubbing effect between your piston pin and small end and crank pin and big end, so that will create a bearing pressure. So here we have considered allowable bearing pressure for crank pin as well as piston pin. So this is DC is diameter of crank pin, LC is length of crank pin. Here you can see. Clear? For the same on the same criteria, this is diameter of piston pin, length of piston pin, and bearing pressure of piston. So here we have determined the projected area under this crank pin and piston pin. So for the projected area under crank pin, it is diameter, which is rectangular section, which is diameter into its length into bearing pressure. For the same, for this piston pin, it is diameter into length to bearing pressure. So this will going to be our design of at piston pin at a small end and a big end. So here the design is purely depending on bearing pressure rather than anything else. Clear? After that, we are going to determine this force which is acting on our piston pin and crank pin. So this is force at piston pin and force at the crank pin. Here we are talking about also dimension, different types of dimension of this relationship between the dimension of the piston pin. Here you can see that length of crank pin, it is 1.25 time of length of diameter of the crank pin. At the same time, here in the case of piston pin, it is 1.5 times of diameter of our crank pin. Clear? Okay. So after this dimension, we are going to design size of bolt of our big end cap. Clear? So these bolts are subjected to shear stress. Clear? How this shear stress going to act? Shear stress going to try to shear out our bolt. So our bolt will going to be find out at a cross section area which is pi by 4 d square, which is diameter of our bolt. So the force which is experienced by this bolt, it is a reciprocating force. You have study about this reciprocating force in design of machine, or you can say dome, which is reciprocating mass force generated due to reciprocating mass, which is FL is equal to mr into omega square into r into 1 plus r by l. Clear? Where r is radius of that crank. Clear? L is length of our connecting rod. Clear? Omega is rpm, or you can say angular velocity of your connecting rod, and mr, which is mass of your reciprocating component, which is in kg. So first of all, you are going to find this force generated due to reciprocating mass, which is going to directly act on your bolts which are try to shear it out. Clear? After that, we are going to find equations for this our connecting rod cross section area. So this force which is generated due to our reciprocating component will directly try to shear out our component, or you can say bolts. Here, so bolt diameter of bolt is DCB, and its tensile strength sigma 3, which has a shear stress. Clear? Number of bolts. So there are two number of bolts. So ultimately, we can find out diameter of our bolt if we have this force and stresses. Clear? Okay. And then you can find out nominal direction or diameter or major diameter. After designing of this belt, they are going to design thickness of big end cap. Now this big end cap is subjected to a bending stress. Why bending stress? This big end cap will going to act as a simply supported wing, which is supported at two ends, which are at bolts, and loaded at a center. So our big end cap will going to act as a simply supported beam, and this simply supported beam will directly affected by gas pressure as well as bearing pressure generated by our crank pin, because it is at a crank pin place. So here we have to find out this moment which is generated at the center. The distance x, which is x from one end. Clear? So moment at the center will be f1 into x, where x is the distance from our bolt center. Clear? Distance from the bolt center. So what is that? So what is that going to be? Your big end diameter of the big end bearing plus 2 into thickness of that bearing plus 3 which is clear, so that will going to be here. I have in this image you can see that the distance between bolt center and our center, where b is the width of your big end cap from the from that side direction. You can see the thickness of that, and this is allowable bending stress for our big end cap. So ultimately from this moment we can find out equation of section modulus. How you can find out the section modulus? M by I is equal to sigma upon y, where sigma upon I by y is equals to your section. So section Z is equals to force or a moment divided by stress. So here you can see moment divided by stress will going to be your sectional modulus. So ultimately stress will be moment divided by sectional modulus. Here moment is F1 into X divided by 6, which is F1, which is generated by there's a reciprocating mass, and Z is it is from that section 6 upon PC, which is B is base of this big end cap and thickness of big end cap. So ultimately you can find your thickness of this big end cap. Clear? So this was our design consideration or design procedure for connecting rod. Clear? I hope you can you have understand it very well. We have designed this component into 5 parts. One is cross section area, another is big end and small end bearing, and second one is third one is to find out this dimension of bolt, and ultimately we have find out dimension of big end cap. I hope you have understand this very well. If you have any doubt regarding any of the section of this part, you can directly contact me or ask me. Thank you. Thank you so much. I am ending this procedure here. Thank you.